guys, today I'll be doing a very fun video. Today I'll be showing you how I did my makeup in high school. Now I feel like so many YouTubers have done this already, so here I am doing my part. I don't want to do this. I personally loved high school. I mean, I had my friends, I had so much fun. During high school is when I started my YouTube channel when I was 14. So I feel like in a way I kinda skipped the entire, that's a lie. I did not skip the ugly face. I started my YouTube channel when I was 14 years old, so I was in high school. So during high school, every day I would try out new looks, I would try new colors. When I ordered my first 88 eyeshadow palette from Coastal Scents, I used to wear different colors every day to school. And to me personally, school was like experimenting with colors, new techniques, new liners, new everything. So to me, school was one big experiment. I went to high school when I was 12, and I started my channel mid 14, and I didn't really start wearing makeup till I was 12 and going to high school. So that is about a year and a half of total confusion and despair of having absolutely no clue what I was doing to my face. And I want to go back in time and stop myself. Like the popular girls, I'd be like, oh my god, they're so pretty, I want to be like those. Now mind you, when I just went to high school, I was insecure, I felt ugly, I felt sad story. It is time to take a trip down memory lane, and I am excited. I'm also frightened for my life, but let's do this. All right, so we are here barefaced and ready. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is conceal. Now concealer was like this big mystery to me. Every girl out there pancaked their face to oblivion, so I felt like I had to do that. So the first thing I always used in the morning was this Catrice concealer palette. I am shocked this is still around because I've used this every day when I was in high school until I started my channel. So this palette right here was so intriguing to me because it had green and it had a very light color. So the green, I would always go in with my fingers. There are little to no brushes in this video because I did not know what brushes were. I did not know that brushes existed. I did not know that people used brushes to apply makeup with. Everything was fingers and mess. So the first thing I always did was I went in with the green. Now as a kid, I had super red cheeks. Now I still have red cheeks, but I know how to cover them up nicely. So what I would do is smear the green all over my cheeks, and look what amazing coverage this product has. Like you can smear this on for a lifetime and it will do nothing. I think I read somewhere that green counteracted red, so I was like, I need this green all over my face. Any shade of red in my face, I hated. I wanted to be invisible in high school because I was so damn ashamed of my face. It's sad. It's actually a crime shot. All right, so once I had all this green on, that's when I would go in with the lightest color, and I would do concealer before foundation. I would put concealer under my eyes, and I would get rid of dark circles. I had one high school friend who loved makeup. She had eyeliner on, she had 100 layers of mascara on, she had the full shebang going on, and she kind of was my inspiration for makeup up until I started my YouTube channel. She was gorgeous, she always had perfect makeup on, and I remember her having the most long, beautiful lashes of life, surrounded in 108 coats of mascara. But the lashes were there, and I was so obsessed because I've never had beautiful lashes in my life. I feel like this is such a sad story. All right, so that would be it for the concealer palette. Now this is where it like actually happens for me. Now when I was in high school, every girl I knew used Dream Matte Mousse by Maybelline as their foundation. This is their lightest color. This is number 10 Ivory, and I would pancake this on my face until oblivion. Yes, this is way too dark for me, and you know what? We did not care because I loved it. And I would literally go like this, smear it onto my face, and then with my fingers, I would start blending it in. This feels so wrong. This feels very silicone-y. I haven't touched this since high school, this foundation, and now feeling it again, it is so silicone-y. Oh my god. I didn't care about being streaky. I didn't care about being patchy. I just smeared it on there and called it a day. All right, so once that was on, you would be like, okay, that's great. No, I would go in with a second layer because I wanted to hide my insecurities. I wanted to hide my face. I went in with the second layer just as thick as the first one. Oh, my sad little pores. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, and I did not blend down my neck. I would always walk around with like that obvious trace of foundation on my chin or like on my jawline. All right, so once I had that pancake on, what I would do is set it with powder. And I always change it up between the Rimmel Stay Matte long-lasting pressed powder, but if I lost that for today or I couldn't find it, I would go in with the Max Factor Facefinity Compact Foundation Powder in number 2 Ivory. And I think I like this one a little bit more because I remember it having more coverage, and it came with a little sponge, and I used that to set my face with. I would like literally gunk powder up on this sponge like that, and I would just set it and forget it. Now, is this color way too dark for me? Yes, ma'am. Yes, it was. But you know what? Everyone in class was tan and beautiful, and I was the sad little ghost. I mean, this difference in neck and face, that is how I would walk around, and I would feel my oats in it. And you guys, I wouldn't apply a little bit. I would cake this on. I would go layer after layer after layer until I was a pancake. All right, once I would have that set, I would move on to my brows. Now, I remember with my brows, they would used to be very wild and untamed. And I remember when I was around 12, 13, I went to a beautician to get them tweezed for the first time in my life. And this woman who did it was around 70 years old. So she was all the way back to the 70s and the 80s. And she thought that 13-year-old girls wanted 70s, 80s brows as well. I left that salon with sperm cell brows. And I remember when she was done and she handed me a mirror, I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. I almost had a panic attack. I went on my bike home. I cried so hard. I screamed, and my mom was like, "What is wrong?" And I said, "Look at my face. Look at my brows. Look what she has done." And my mom, my mom is a very bad liar, and she went, "It's beautiful, honey." And I remember always buying a Wet n Wild eyebrow kit, but Wet n Wild is no longer available in the Netherlands. So I went for the next best thing, this Rimmel Brow This Way. So I'm gonna try and mimic my brow shape from back then. My brows started all the way like back here, like right there. There is where they would start, and they would literally go up like this and down like that. I am not shitting you right now. You can look back at one of my first videos here on YouTube, and I kind of still had this brow going on. Not kinda, I had this brow going on, and I looked like a hot mess. But this is sort of what my brows look like. And what I vividly remember is that the front little portion was almost like a stick going straight like that, like a little sperm cell head, and then it will like do its thing. So it had like this little stick, and then it would, you know, and of course I hated my brows, but I mean, so many girls actually have this because we all went to that same lady. So all of us were like, it's what it should be looking like. Okie dokie, so that will be brows. Now after brows, I would do my eyes. I did not know what primer was, had to keep that on for an entire day. I would put eyeshadow on, and then after like 3 hours, it would have creased up and I would end up with like 2 weird lines. I remember my mom always having this like Max Factor, like this duo eyeshadow palette. It had 2 colors. It had a warm brown, warm shimmering brown, and a frosty champagne color. And I remember my mom putting the warm brown all over her lid and the champagne color up to her brow bone. Sorry, Mom. I applied my eyeshadow using one of these. No blending brushes, nothing, none of that. And I think the closest color that my mom had was this one right here. It's like a taupey warm brown shimmering color. I applied it all over my lid, all over. I did not know what precise application or blending was. And if I would have fallout, I would go back in with that nasty sponge with the powder and just rub it in. So I would just go up like this and kind of round it out. And then I would take my finger and kind of smudge it out because I didn't like how I had that line. See, the blending was in me. The blending was in me. I didn't like the harsh line, so I would kind of like rub it away and I would be left with this. And see how I have all that like oil from the concealer and foundation on my lids? Yeah, I would just go over top with the shadow and I would not care. And then I would flip this brush over and I would go in a champagne-y light color. And what I would literally do with this color is go on my brow bone and blend it down to that brown color. And then what I remember is that everyone out there applied thick black eye kohl to the waterline and even onto the base of the lower lash line to really like give your eyes definition. And on the lower lash line, right underneath. I have really small eyes, and then all the pretty girls have like these big doll eyes. And when they would put on this black, it would look so smoldering and sexy. And when I would do it, it would close my eyes off. So what I did to counteract having smaller eyes, I would go lower down with the black to kind of make it look all a little bit bigger. Now would be the time where I applied mascara. Remember how I told you how I had that one beautiful friend with amazing lashes? She had amazing lashes, but her trick for amazing mascara was applying 3 to 6 layers, and she would sleep in it so that the next day she could apply another layer, and that would make it even more voluminous and beautiful. Now, she actually told me back then that she would remove mascara once or twice per week. Once or twice per week. So I had a gang. So the first one I would always go in with was by Maybelline. This is the Classic Volume Express Waterproof. So I'm just gonna coat the lashes as thickly as I can. And then to save time in the morning when that was drying, I would apply my bronzer, and I would go in with the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. And I also used a Rimmel blush, and they came with brushes like this. So I would always dunk the brush in the bronzer and I would like Oompa Loompa myself. And it was a common mistake that bronzer was a setting powder. So a lot of girls, including myself, would use bronzer to kind of warm up and set the foundation another layer. Then I will go in with another mascara, the Colossal by Maybelline as well. Just another layer. One of many. And then for my bottom lashes, I'd use the Telescopic by L'Oreal. And again, I went in with the mascara. And then once that was moderately dry, this is when I would go in with my eyelash curlers and curl them up to God. Yes, up to Jesus. All right, and then if they were curled up, I would apply just one more layer. All right, now for the finishing touch, my lips. Like I said, I hated my red cheeks and I hated like any redness in my face. So after completely masking all redness already, I still felt like my lips were too red. And I actually took this trend to my YouTube channel like a year in. And if you've been with me since the beginning, you know that I used to do nude lips with anything and everything. I always felt like all the attention had to go to my eyes or like whatever I did that day. And lips were just there and I didn't want them to be there because they were red and disgusting. So all I would do is completely erase every color. So what I would do is I would grab one of these concealers right here in the shape of a lipstick. You know where I'm going right now. So I would go in with a concealer like this. I'm about to do it. And I would apply it. I would apply it like that and then grab my finger and tap it in. And then in high school, to make it last, I went in with that powder puff and kind of went over top to make it stay there all day long. And I would have the most beautiful nude lips of the entire school. All right, guys, that would be my look. That would be how I would walk around feeling myself, feeling like I was part of the cool girls, feeling like I was part of something great, part of something beautiful, until I started my channel and I learned all these amazing new tricks, and I learned to love myself for who I was, and I learned to love my pale skin, and we've come a long way. So that is it. That is how I would do my makeup in high school. I've seen a lot of these videos. A lot of them were like super glam. I'm like, girl, yes, that was not me. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I am not going to make a list of all the products I used. Should I? No, I don't want to. No, nobody wants this in life ever again. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. That all is Nikki Tutorials. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and share this with all your high school friends. If you feel like you saw yourself in this video, like a trip down memory lane, share this with your friends and take a trip down memory lane. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys on the next one where I will look a lot more like myself. All right, bye-bye. Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you my August hits, and God knows I feel like August raced by. Throughout the month of August, I gathered up a lot of cool favorite new products, and I cannot wait to show them to you. I have an God know for you. I'm wearing glitter on my eyes. I feel like the typical drag Nikki like I always look like.